Yeah, it's your boy, Corey, aka Valedictorian, and this is a head of class session. I'll make this as quick as possible. I wanted to talk about the topic of the difference between criticism and hate. Okay, so this was inspired by a video I watched where it was a woman and man talking, and they were having a discussion, and they were talking about uh, I guess the male podcaster was being criticized for criticizing a woman on another clip, and the woman immediately said that the man was a misogynist. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna be more transparent. I'm gonna make it a situation that happened with myself. So I was replying to the whole uh, if a woman could choose a man versus a bear and all that, and a lot of the women in the Facebook post was saying they choose a bear. So a particular lady, I forgot her name, but she called me a misogynist because I was critical of her stance. Um, saying that she would choose the bear over man. And the reason why is because in one breath she was talking, she was married and all that, and I was like, well, if you were to say that you would choose bear like bears over a man if you were stuck out in the middle of a forest or whatever, I was like, that's kind of contradictory because you're basically saying that you wouldn't trust your husband, you wouldn't trust the man. So I challenged her stance, and yet she took it personal and said that no, the fact that I was critical of that I hate women. Okay, so this is the thing. The definition of a misogynist, okay, or a misandrist. So a misogynist is a person who hates women. A misandrist is a person who hates men. Okay, let's just flip it to an example. If a person it came out, if you're in the KKK, or you don't even gotta be in that, a person come out and say, I hate all black people, or I hate all white people. I'm going to tell you this, they are not going to be critical of the people or persons that they hate. Or a person's not going to be critical of a thing that they hate. Reason why, I'm going to explain. If you are critical of something or you give criticism to something, it's not that you hate it. You're basically challenging the stance. You're basically, challenging the validity of what they do or whatever. It's almost a way to where you're not hating. You want to see improvement. You want to see growth. You want to see that person or thing change for the better. If I was to say that, you know, I think that, certain places should change up and be more safe, or if it's an establishment, like if it's a bar that I go to and I say, hey man, I think this bar is not, safe for a person to come in, or if it's, dirty, or if it has, asbestos or whatever, it's like, hey man, you need to fix up your establishment. The owner of the bar can't just be like, oh man, you're hating my bar, you're hating on my bar. No, it's not hate. You're being critical. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. Now, so whenever a woman or a man, if a man calls a woman a misandrist, or if a woman calls a man misogynistic, people are not understanding. They're not using the intellectual capacity to understand that no, the person is actually, contrary to what you think, we don't hate women or we don't hate men. We're critical of them. We want to see change. Another transparent situation. A person could come up to me and be like, yo, you big as hell, man. You need to work on losing that weight, losing that belly. You need to work on it. And, people have commented on my weight, whatever. I don't in turn just say to them, oh, you hate all big people. You hate all fat people. You're a hater. You hate. That's the difference when you have an intellectual mind. You understand that no, that person's being critical of you. And if you sit and just evaluate the criticism, key phrase there, you have to evaluate the criticism. And when you evaluate it, be like, oh yeah, I do need to get, work out and do some stuff, which that's happening. It's like in that situation, you can understand where the person's coming from. Like, yep, I need to lose some weight. Why is it that anytime that, I'm not gonna say anytime, but most times, especially when it's like online, I don't know if these things are skits or staged, but you as a woman will throw that M word, misogyny, at a man who is critical of you when in actuality he just wants to see you do better. He's just trying to throw constructive criticism, meaning to be able to construct change, to be able to construct a difference to where you can change for the better. Now, if a man really just hated women, a woman hater in a man is not going to be critical of them. They're just going to either act like they don't exist. They're going to act like they don't have no worth. They're going to say, it's not the same. I don't care how much people want to put it that way. It is not the same. And the core of it is that whoever is using that word, oh, you're misandrous, or nope, you're misogynist. It is their lack of being able to look deep down and see the fallacies that is within themselves. A lot of people don't like that, especially if it's like, I know this for a fact. Men, well, with men, I think we're a little better, but there are some petty people out there. Men can take the criticism a lot when it's from their own gender. Same thing for women. If a woman said the same thing to another woman that a man says to her, she's going to take it probably a little better just because it's from a woman. It's not from a man. I don't know what it is to where women don't want to either listen to any kind of male criticism. I know that we're two different genders, and a lot of women will say, well, you don't know what it's like. We could say the exact same thing, but a lot of times with men, we are faced with criticism that we have to either evaluate and put into play, or we will not have a value in society. A man can't just go through life and just, think that he has to do nothing and he's going to be a productive person. And then when you criticize that man, if he's, immediately just said, nope, you're misandrous or you're misandrous, he would sound silly. It would sound very silly. I'm just going to give you that, man. There is a huge difference between criticism, especially constructive criticism. That's the key word. You can't just, it's to criticism that will help that woman or help that man. It's not hate. And people want it to be that so bad because that's the easy way out. That's the easy way for your mind to not be able to think, not be able to evaluate the criticism, or not be able to evaluate what was said. And that is a lacking. It shows lacking. But let me know. Just let me know if I'm right, if I'm off, I'm right, wrong. I think I'm pretty much right. And I know it because I have proofs of each definition of what they mean, and people try to make them the same. They're not the same. They've never been the same. But people want to make it the same. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason that they have within themselves. And that's all I got for you. You know what I'm saying? Take it, leave it. But yeah, that's a thing, man. Criticism is not hate. It is the opposite of hate. And that's all I got. Much love. Peace to the people. Peace to the culture. See you on the next Go Rip. Yeah.